I found 28 tips, secrets, and cool features in the new update, and I think you're gonna like all of them. Sponsored by EA. You can super glide into a Revenant Tactical to go really far. There's a new Easter egg for Octane's pet rabbit. Here's what happens if you go there with Lifeline and Octane.
I know how much Navi meant to you, Silva. Goggles or no, I could always see your heart break.
Only person who knew me better than you was that rabbit.
You can also wall climb around corners now, which is neat. There's a weird new door in the firing range, and all of the legends seem intrigued about it. It must be related to the new Nessie Easter egg that nobody has solved yet. This is what happens if you Revenant Tactical off the top of a jump tower. Whoa. Whoa. Revenant still holds on to Forge's medallion after killing him.
Nothing like killing a skin bag. They're so fragile.
If you struggle to get good distance on Revenant's Tactical, you can know when it's fully charged when this happens. There's a lot of misconceptions about how Revenant's tactical jump distance is worked out. A lot of people think if you look directly down at the ground, you'll get a speed boost, but this is not the case. This is not the fastest, furthest distance you can get. As you can see in this footage, I've taken a look at different angles when activating the tactical without pressing any other buttons. If you look directly up, you'll go straight up.
No escape.
Now, as you get closer towards head height, you start to lose some of that height and get a bit more distance.
There's no escape. No escaping me. You won't escape.
And then when you go below head height, you've got the most distance possible and the least height. But then if you keep going down, 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 and down more, what happens is you actually start to lose distance. So if you want to do a shorter jump, look further down. And if you look straight at the ground, you don't get a massive speed boost. It's actually a little bit less than just below head height. You can charge the tactical while sliding, jumping, and even bee-hopping. If you get to tier 100 on a weapon, your in-game weapon UI now is super shiny. Revenant and Loba are going at it again.
Oh, good news, those new abilities. Right there.
I can still
Don't
kill
leave
you.
anything good behind.
Just adjusting.
There's 2 new select animations for Revenant.
I used to wear a skin suit
But the old animation is still available if you select the classic skin.
too. I don't do this for fame or glory. I do it for fun.
Here are all of Revenant's new heirloom animations.
It's always more fun when I get to play.
There's also a new Havoc animation. Watson has a slight variation of it too. And there's a new P2020 animation. And Ballistic has its own version. You can pair Revenant and Pathfinder together to do this. Or use Revenant's tactical with a jump pad to do a triple jump.
You won't escape.
Revenant also has some new creepier healing animations.
Using a medkit.
This one might be a bug, but you can't take damage from your own grenades during Revenant's ultimate.
Throwing an Arcstar. Throwing an Arcstar. Arcstar out.
That's going to be painful for the enemies. You can now get the reactive weapon at tier 25 instead of tier 100. Here's a look at the EVA 8 animations. Revenant is being tormented by himself.
Doesn't matter who did this to you. You'll never have control. But I'll make them suffer, and then I'll kill them. I'll kill them all.
Revenant can use his tactical to boost in the direction he is facing, no matter what he is doing.
Just try and escape.
This basically works as a free tap strafe even on controller. Here's how to get your weapon out whilst using Revenant's tactical.
Why can't I? No escaping me.
Start running towards the edge of a ledge, activate your tactical, start sliding, and then when you're mid-air, quickly let go of the tactical and you'll have your weapon out. It takes some practice with the timing, but it's pretty easy to do. You can tap strafe out of a Revenant tactical.
No escaping. Life there is none. Can't escape.
Getting the timing down is a little janky until you get your head around one thing. Make sure you're keeping the W key held down. The next thing you need to do is hold down the tactical, then when you're ready to jump, jump first, and then immediately let go of the tactical almost at the same time, and then input the tap strafe.
You won't escape.
The disrupt around hop bumps are super rare, so here's a real cheeky way to spawn one into the game. You're going to need one Assault Legend on your team, and once you've got an Assault Legend on your team, make sure everyone else drops all of their weapons. I know it sounds weird, but hear me out. The Assault bins spawn attachments based on what you're currently equipped. It'll always give you better attachments than what's in your inventory. So if you have everyone drop their weapons, and then have the Assault Legend take either a PK or an alternator, and put all of the highest tier attachments on that, and then open an assault bin, you'll get the disruptor rounds most of the time. But here's a little hint. If you have a Digithreat, don't equip it. For some reason, the game values 2x optics higher than the Digithreat, so if you have a Digithreat on the alternator and open an assault bin, you won't get the disruptors, you'll just get a 2x. So basically, you want the highest level attachments you can, along with a 2x scope. Open it up and the disruptor should be there. Remember the Octane Easter egg from the beginning of the video? If you go there solo with Lifeline and Octane, you get more voice lines that give us a hint about the future story between Eduardo and Revenant.
No lie, Silva. I do want us to be friends again. I miss you. Putting a tracking device in that rabbit's foot wasn't what you deserve, but you'll see. When we finally stop Eduardo, when you see who he really is. I know you'll forgive me.
Navi, my little dude. You've got the coolest grave on Olympus. Shay, you remember her? She wants to talk. And like, away from Pops. If she's trying to get me to betray him, I can't, you know? But she's my hermana, whether she knows it or not. I gotta hear her out.
Revenant's old rare totem animations still play on his new ult ability, which is really cool.